Greetings, hi, hello, and a warm welcome to Groundshaker. Groundshaker is Rigid Audio's newest creation, and it's a pretty amazing drum machine, groovebox, or whatever you want to call it. And in this video, I want to show you how to work with Groundshaker, what you can do with it, what it sounds like, and everything in between. So let's start. What you're hearing here is the basic Groundshaker groove. You got a few factory grooves or kits, and let's go through some of them and have a listen. You see there are some really funky ones. And oh yeah, did I mention that there are also grooves with triplets, which is pretty cool. And you can always change that. You can change the time signature, and if you click on the Groundshaker logo on the top corner here, we can switch that back to 4/4, 4 on the floor. And then you got the plain groove. Yeah, I quite like that. Okay, what else is there? We got a deep warehouse beat. Let's have a listen if it's that deep or not. Oh, yes it is. What would that sound like with a triplet? Me likey, that's quite cool. So as you can see, you get a ton of sounds here right out of the box. Groundshaker comes with 1000 sounds preloaded, pre-filled to the brim with 1000 sounds. And did I mention that Groundshaker is based on randomization and all its glory? So that means somehow you're never really gonna know what you're gonna get. So, but that's the fun thing about it. That's the fun part. You see this big button here in the middle? What happens if I press this one? Oh, we got a brand new beat. I want one more. Crazy. Okay, we got a halftime beat. A triple beat. And the cool thing is, more or less, you don't ever have to stop the sequencer, that you can trigger on the keyboard here. Okay, you can't see my finger if I put it on the screen. Oh, that was funny. And when you have a groove that you like, you can tweak it and fine-tune it if you prefer to do so. You can simply click those little question mark and change the sound. That's cool. Let me change the skin quick. I particularly like that one. Let's put in some stuff. Oh, that's cool. Down here you can mix and match the sounds, or you can mix the individual sections. Let's bring a shuffle and hi-hat. Oh, it's halftime. We don't want that. Let's make it 16. As you can see, the higher the values are in these steps, the longer the decay of the sound. Which is cool to get some real shuffle going on. Shuffle. By the way, here's the shuffle. Yeah, starting to get groovy. And what you can do is you can make those patterns even more interesting if you press these buttons to the right here to each sequencer with a question mark again, and it does what you think what it would do. It's basically choosing randomly sounds, choosing 4 sounds from a list of 4 sounds randomly, and that gives interesting results. And you can still always change the sounds. That's a cool groove. The thing I'm working on now, or what I'm tweaking now here, is the layer sequencer, and that one does what its name implies. It does toggle the layers from on and off. Yeah, great speaking. You can do that to get some variation within your groove. As you can see, if I turn it off, only layer A would play now. And you can bring in up to 4 layers at once for a maximum of power. And of course you can change the volumes of these as well. And randomize sounds as well for the layers only that you want to change the sounds. For example, let's say we want to change layer B. The sounds in layer B, we can click on this question mark here at the top. Yep, why not? That's nice. Okay, but let's bring in the main beat. Ah, there we go. Let us change the sounds for layer A. That's cool. And now let's say I like the combination of the kick and the snare. I want to keep that, but I want to randomize everything else. Well, it couldn't be easier. You just click on these little lock icons, and now you can randomize everything else except those 2 lanes. And we can still bring in the layer back in the layer sequencer. This thing is heavily inspiring. Oh, we got a lot of shuffle going on. Let's push it to the max even more. Yes, more shuffle. Let's see what it would simply sound straight. Okay, not bad. It does sound pretty cool. How about a different kick? Ooh, ooh. What we could do is turn on the question mark, so the random sample changing for the kick as well. Wow, I like that one. And since I like that one, I want to now drag it out into my DAW so that I can continue editing or make changes to it. As you can see, you have a little funky boombox here in the right down corner and the right bottom. And you can simply click and drag that to your sequencer, and boom, there you go. There's your beat. Let's have a listen. And now I can change everything in here. You might wonder why these notes look a bit strange, or sometimes you have a stack of 8 on top of each other, and sometimes you only get single ones. That's because down here, you can see if I click those, these are 2 different kick sounds. And that is because, if you remember, in the Groundshaker we have this question mark randomize 4 times randomize mode, or play me 4 different wave sounds. And the thing is, to sequence that externally, we need to figure out a way to do so. So that is why we have separate keys, as you can see here. We get randomized wave triggers. So with these, you can play the 4 sounds that have been randomized. As you can see here, there's a little number that's changing depending on which sound I trigger. But I can also trigger the default sound for that layer. So that's why you have some funky note stuff going on here. So now I can do everything I want with that clip because I'm sequencing it externally. How cool is that then? And these are the sounds for all the 4 layers. So if you don't want to export all 4 layers, you can simply deactivate the layers that you don't want and then drag it again. And then it will only... Oh, where's my mouse? My mouse is gone. Hello, mouse, earth to mouse. Ah, there it is. Oof. Okay. Ah, yeah, as you can see now, it's not a big mess anymore. It's now a bit cleaner. That's layer A. As you can see here, flashing. That's still 4 lights are flashing because of that randomized thing. Okay, so now I can have a play around and tweak that to my heart's desire. Okay, it won't sound good, I'm pretty sure. But it's just for the sake of demonstration. Clicking randomly everywhere. Ooh, ooh. And let's see what comes out. Still has a cool groove to it. You know what? Let's change the sounds. Oh, by the way, did I mention that Groundshaker has the IOTC feature, the icing on the cake? Let me show you what that means. Icing on the cake is currently turned off. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now engage icing on the cake. But for that to work, I have to do something. Hello? DAW? Ah! That is a snare, I guess. Okay. Let me quickly show that and see if it works. If it does something. Well, that's a bit... okay. Well, okay. Theoretically, it should do something that you... Ah! That, ladies and gentlemen, is icing on the cake. Basically, what it does is it does enable and disable some random effects in the background, like a reverb and a delay, a kind of tape delay that you just heard, and stuff like that. So this is why it's called icing on the cake, because it is exactly that. It does make something good even better. So where was we? Okay. So as you can see, you can easily drag out any beat you got with simply by clicking on that little stomp box. A stomp box is a good one. Boombox. Okay, what else could I show you? There's a ton of stuff. Oh yeah. So let's imagine you're playing around with that big exclamation mark button, and you got a groove going on, and you say, okay, oh yeah, okay. And then you say, oh, wait a moment, I like that before that one. Oh, god damn it, it's already gone. So no, it's not. You can always click on the revert button, and then it will bring back the last generated groove. So let me bring in another factory groove. Let's see what we got. Yep. And let me have a little play. By the way, those effects buttons are generated randomly, or the effects underneath them. That is always generated randomly as well, because, as I told you earlier, Groundshaker is based on full randomization. And with every click or with every new generated groove, it will decide if to enable or disable effects for a particular layer. And it will also decide which effects are going to be turned on or off. So it could be that you have it could be a bit crushing lo-fi effect, an equalization, a filter, and so much different stuff going on. Oh, and another interesting thing is that whenever you have a lot of stuff, or a lot of stuff going on in a single particular pattern, you can use these little density sliders to, let me change the skin so that you can see better. You can use those to bring in or fade out steps randomly, so to thicken things or thin out things, in other words, as you can see and hear. And you can enable or disable individual drums simply by clicking on its name, or like the kick. great. And the combination of those three layers is great. Let's tighten it up a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I like that groove. Let me export it and play it back. And as you can see, oh, there was an icing on the cake. I love icing on the cake. Who doesn't? There's another fun option in Groundshaker, which is called pitchfall. And pitchfall does exactly what it says. It does tune down the pitch while it's over the course of the sequence. Let me give you an example. We do a pitchfall for the kick. And sometimes this really does sound very fresh and unique. And we can choose if we want to randomize pitchfalls or not. Let me turn that off so that I can leave that pitchfall on for the kick. It's funny if it always goes like boom, 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 boom. And you can do the pitchfall as well for the shaker and for the percussion layer if you prefer so. Okay, let me turn that off for now. Another thing to mention is the option which is called stop old notes on downbeat. So what that does is, let's imagine you have a sound in the shaker or percussion section with a very long tail, a very long decay. And sometimes that will give you a mess, or will mess up the groove. So what you can do is, let me have a quick look if I can show you that. Yeah, that's pretty long sound. So basically what it does is it cuts the notes on every downbeat, so on 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Yes, I think you can hear that. Let me turn that off again. Yeah, you can hear it will cut the tail. And besides that, you can also do a classical thing, or that comes from a classical, let me say, drumming background or whatever. That is, if the hi-hat should mute the shaker, or in that case we can see it as an open head then, because a head can't be open and closed at the same time, obviously. And let me give you an example. It sounds like this. Oh, it would be good if I would turn on the hi-hat for that to work. Let me show that. As you can hear, the shaker will be muted. If I turn that off. Bad example. We need a longer shaker. Nah, that's too short as well. No. Oh. There must be a longer shaker in here. I know it because I've programmed it. Well, lazy me. Stop odd notes and downbeat was turned on. Okay. So now let me turn on hi-hat mute shaker again. I can hear it. Okay, one final thing, which is a more, well, I'd say, advanced concept or feature. That is, you have the option to enable remote control notes. If you turn that on, you see there's a new range on the Contact GUI keyboard with mint-colored keys, beautiful mint-colored keys. And from there you can randomly, or no, remotely trigger functions and buttons in Groundshaker. As you can see here in the little info pane, it says randomize layer A, B, C, D. So if I play a groove now, and let's say I perform live now, oh, a bit more sound wouldn't hurt, okay. I can say randomize the whole layer A with a MIDI key. I can do that for the others as well. I can even toggle layers. And I can also change and randomize individual patterns. I can randomize sounds. As you can see, the question mark is blinking. So I can basically remote control everything, which is fantastic for live performance. So you can even toggle effects. You can turn on the wave function, that 4 times wave repeat. And you can enable or disable the individual sections as well. Oh, and you can turn on the pitchfall effects. And enable or disable icing on the cake. Okay, basically that is Groundshaker, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a ton of stuff in it, and I think the possibilities are endless because the whole thing is based on randomization. So as you can hear, you can generate an endless list of grooves with a simple click. Or let's say you want to do triplets. You just change the time signature. Well, that sums it up. That covers it. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoy Groundshaker and have some fun with it. See you next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.